Welcome back, guys. I was on the lookout for a classic tail cap operated flashlight that wasn't too big in any direction. Well, meet the Sofirn SC32. At only 100mm long and 25 in diameter and 55 grams empty, it sits perfectly in my hands. Even more importantly, it's just $30 and packs quite the punch. I will link everything in the description as well. When it comes to powerful EDC flashlights, personally I avoid to look at the maximum claim output since those are meant for an emergency per se and they always trickle down to not overheat after usually 1 minute, which is of course understandable. So for my needs I tend to pay more attention at the low to medium modes, which are far more practical because this means you can use them for hours and hours. So let's get this out of the way. It's rated for 2000 lumens in turbo mode and up to a 214 meters beam distance, which is highly impressive. This is all possible thanks to its 3000 mAh 18650 cell and the famous Lumens SST40 emitter in a custom diffuser. Now for the stuff that I'm most interested. Survival mode is 1 lumen, which translates to almost 21 days of runtime. Low is 90 lumens, which means it will last up to 17 hours, and the medium is 450 lumens for around 4 hours. Finally, the high mode is double the medium and half of its runtime. It comes highly protected in this minimal box. You get 2 spare O-rings and 1 hand strap. The user's guide and the Type-C cable reside in this separate box. Mind you, due to its design, the torch can't accept Type-C plugs that are too thick, like this aftermarket Anchor one. As you can see, the charging port is quite deep, so just be mindful of this. A full charge will last around 2.5 hours and the LED will flash in red in the meantime. Green will indicate, of course, a fully charged status. Overall build quality is top notch with a premium feel. Can't really tell that this is a $30 flashlight or a 91, so max points here. It's IPX60 rated and it's made from aluminum. The tail cap button is recessed a bit, which means it can sit upright and has a highly satisfying click to it. The material is quite soft to the touch, which I really like. This small pictogram here shows the orientation of the battery and it's a weird way to access it from the top end. Speaking of, it has these cutouts, not for tactical use, but to see if you left it on by mistake. Then the pocket clip is very long and will facilitate a deep pocket carry and even over your belt. For a better size perspective, here it is next to my Olight Nova H2R, the old name for the current Perun 2, which uses the same 18650 cell. Now this is what I meant that I like the Sofirn's smaller body. Furthermore, here it is next to a Leatherman Surge multi-tool, a Spyderco Para 2 and a Maratac pen. Moving along, the user interface is very simple, everything is controlled from the tail cap. Long press 1 off will activate the survival 1 lumen mode, short press will turn it off. It will remember the last used one minus turbo and strobe, so 1 click from off will activate it. Long press 10 will cycle from the low to the high modes. Then a double click from off will go into turbo and a triple will do a strobe. Of course it even has a lockout mode, but those you need to go into the manual to fully memorize them. Finally, let's see what it can do. So here is the moon mode, followed by the low 90 lumen, which is my favorite for everyday tasks. Here is the medium 450 lumen one, and the high 900. As you can see, plenty to illuminate my whole backyard. Finally, the turbo is basically wild and you can actually feel the torch warming up. As you can see, the beam has a very wide dispersion. So yeah, I really like this torch from Sofirn. It's powerful, practical and easy to use. The only heads up is the fact that you need a slim profile for your USB Type-C if you forget to take the included one. Other than that, you can't really go wrong at this price point. Thanks for watching, guys, and what's your main EDC flashlight?